Alright guys, it's John.
And Ben.
And it's time for our MLP the Movie review. I should have been wearing an MLP shirt.
I
You're
know.
wearing your MLP shirt. What was I thinking?
You weren't?
I should go change. Hang on. Pony shirt time.
Feel better?
Yep, I am ready to review this movie.
Okay.
So the first part of this video is going to be spoiler free. No spoilers.
Right, we will warn you when the spoilers start.
Yeah, so it'll be like a big warning, like, spoilers!
Alert!
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to get heavy into spoiler territory near
Right.
the second half of this video.
So if you haven't seen the movie, we'll warn you spoiler time, and then don't watch the rest of it if you don't want it to be ruined.
Just turn it off and watch some other fine Bin's Toy Bin video.
Right. We'll have some linked around.
So, first thoughts. First thing that come in your head. I enjoyed it.
I did too. I really liked it. I liked the animation.
Yes.
I thought that it was very, very well done.
You thought the ponies looked even cuter than they did on the show.
I thought they were absolutely adorable. They looked like little fillies, though. You know, like, you could tell the difference between, like, the Cutie Mark Crusaders fillies and then the, like, adult ponies of Celestia and Luna. And then you could tell that the main six were, like, in the middle. You know, they did a very good job at showing the age, but they were so adorable.
I think it's because their eyes looked like huge.
I can see why they made these particular sea ponies now, because the eyes of these figures really, like, show off what they did in the movie. Another thing I really liked?
The Hanazuki cartoon in front of the movie.
Well, yes, obviously.
Well, we had to hit upon that, too.
I loved the Hanazuki short. I thought I was a little disappointed in it, but then John reminded me that it had to be kind of like a standalone, most people don't know who Hanazuki is yet type short. But I thought the animation was really, really good on it, and the way that she glows for her emotions, I thought was awesome in that short.
I mean, the cartoon itself was, you know, just a typical one character chases the other for 5 minutes cartoon. But the animation, like how expressive Hanazuki was amazing. It was just like beautiful, full animation.
It was really good.
And it looked so colorful and great on the big screen. Anyway, going back to the movie, one thing, I don't know if this is spoiler territory or not. I don't think it really is. The villain, the Storm King, I expected him to play a bigger role.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't really develop him. Most of the character development is Tempest Shadow.
Yeah, with Tempest, yeah.
You know, Storm King is just like, brr, 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 big bad, and then
that's it. There's no backstory, there's no anything. You know nothing about him.
It's like, what? It's like, why is he doing this? Because he's the bad guy, I guess.
All right,
we'll go along with it.
Just because he wants to.
But it's a shame, too. He seemed like he'd be like a funny, he was like more of a comedic bad guy.
Yeah.
Like one of those big, full, like, he's really mean and menacing, but he's also full of himself.
He kind of reminds me of the big boss from the Lego movie. The one that Will Ferrell played.
Lord Business.
Yes, that's it. Thank you. Lord Business. He kind of reminded me of Lord Business. Like that type of a villain. You know, not, you know, I mean, they weren't like the exact same villain, but that type of a villain. I really liked the music.
Yes, the soundtrack was excellent.
I think we're going to have to pick up the soundtrack because I liked a lot of the songs and I was kind of like bopping along in my seat. So I think I want the songs.
Out of all the new characters, I think Capper, the cool cat, ended up with the most screen time. I don't even think... I thought Skystar was a great character and super funny.
She was very funny.
But the cat was like the most screen time.
Yeah, I think it was a surprise to us that we saw Capper so much because he isn't in any of the toys. We've seen a toy of him, but not in the stores, not available to be purchased.
It's supposed to be coming out in a 2-pack with a rarity figure at some point.
But we haven't seen
it yet. Hopefully, maybe it'll be out by Christmas.
Maybe.
Who knows? But Capper was a fun character. But I don't want to think about it too much, but domesticated cats live in the pony universe. And now they're like human cats? Is this sort of like Goofy and Pluto type territory we're heading into?
Probably because, you know, I mean, they have the same thing. They also had birds, and they're pet birds. You know?
Whoops, I knocked Twilight over.
So, they had an awful lot of different types of animals that were actual characters.
I didn't notice an Opal cameo in the movie.
I didn't see Opal. It doesn't mean that she wasn't there.
Anyway, that's not a criticism. That's more of an observation. So it is definitely worth seeing. We actually saw it in a fairly full theater. Keep in mind, it's a kids movie. It's a kids movie, so you have to cut it some slack.
So how about this? Right now, we're gonna say we're gonna be in spoiler territory.
Okay.
So from now on, you guys, it's spoilers.
Okay, I'll repeat my Tempest Shadow thing.
Twilight, stand up.
All right, guys. Okay. Now we don't need to tiptoe around the spoilers. While the Storm King felt a little maybe like underdeveloped and not really used too much, and he was dispatched in typical Disney fashion, like thrown off the high spot, and he was turned to stone at the time, and then he shattered at the end.
Right.
Tempest Shadow, on the other hand, even before we saw the movie, or at least I did anyway, watching 7 seasons of My Little Pony, the TV show, and how many villains have been reformed.
Right, between the TV show and Equestria Girls.
Yeah, I kind of had the feeling that Tempest Shadow was going to be on the side of on Team Friendship at the end of the movie, which she totally was.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember her name, because at the very end, the last joke of the movie is like, oh, by the way, my name's not really Tempest Shadow.
It's hold on.
It was like
Fizzy Pop.
No, it was like Fizzle Wink Poppy Pants or something.
No, hold on.
Ben has looked it up and has the answer.
Fizzle Pop Berry Twist is her name, and Pinkie Pie went crazy, which would make complete sense, because that is definitely a Pinkie Pie type name, but I thought it was funny.
Now, as you can imagine, they had like a certain set amount of time in the movie. It was, an hour and change. And you already have 6 main characters to begin with, and they're introducing all these new characters. There was Capper, and the Queen and the Princess of the Sea Ponies, and the pirate crew. So, most of the other ponies in the show were just like cameos. Like they'd be like shot, they'd be in the background, or they just have like their one line, like Big Mac pops up to say yup, and Bulk Biceps pops up to say yeah, and Derpy makes an interesting cameo appearance.
She does.
And it's not quite clear. I'm waiting for the Blu-ray or Netflix or whatever, because when I saw it in the theater, the bad guys are turning all the princesses to stone. Boom, Celestia stoned. Boom, Cadence is stoned. And they're aiming it at Twilight, and you see Rainbow Dash fly down.
There's a cloud of smoke, like dust.
And then the next thing, when the dust clears, they go, we got the last princess. And that's not the last princess, and it's Derpy. Now, it happened so quick that Ben and I, when we were discussing it after the fact,
we thought totally different things.
Yeah, I got the impression, did Rainbow Dash just push Derpy in the way to get turned to stone? While Ben thought it was Rainbow Dash turned to stone. I was so confused
because I thought it was Rainbow Dash, and then in the next second, she's running away with the other ponies with Twilight, and I'm like, how did she not stay stone? I'm so confused.
But yeah, it happened super quick.
So we need to see that part again to see, what happened. Like, was Derpy just behind Twilight the whole time during that section? We don't know.
So, let's see. Yeah, most of the other characters, all the fan favorite characters, they'll pop in, but you have to have a really sharp eye or a pause button.
Right.
Because, Starlight Glimmer pops up for a second, and Trixie pops up for a second.
I didn't see her in the movie because I missed it. But.
DJ, and there's a crowd scene at the end where Discord, you can see him in the crowd. But there were 2 characters that I thought for sure would at least make a split-second cameo, especially when the princesses were all turned to stone and then turned back again. I thought at least, Shining Armor and Flurry Heart would pop in for a second, like when Mom is unfrozen. Like, maybe that'll be on the Blu-ray, maybe it just got cut.
Maybe. We didn't see them.
I didn't see them at all, not even in crowd scene. So if you saw Shining and Flurry Heart in the movie, let us know. Maybe I just missed it, but I was keeping my eye open. But I was expecting that at the end for the happy ending. They showed Derpy, when Derpy turned back to normal. That's probably when it registered to you that it was derpy.
Well, yeah, it did. I was so confused.
But it's like, where's Shining and Flurry Heart during all of this?
They're taking a nap back.
Yes, back at home.
It was Flurry Heart's nap time.
Okay, and this is another major spoiler, but if you made it this far, you've like spoiled the entire movie.
This is a part that kind of...
You know, like, there's a part where they're turned into sea ponies. They need to get this pearl from the Queen of the Sea Ponies to defeat the Storm King.
Which I don't exactly know what they're using the pearl for, but...
Yeah, I
think that went over my head.
Well, I think the pearl could, like, turn things into something. I don't know. I can't remember right now. We need to see the movie again. That's all.
Well, the pearl was used to turn the hippogriffs into sea ponies, or
so weren't they gonna
these guys? And so I don't know if Twilight was wanted the pearl. I don't know if Twilight wanted the pearl to turn all of Equestria into sea ponies.
Maybe that was it.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Anyway, the Queen initially refuses to give them the pearl.
Mm-hmm.
So Twilight comes up with the idea, have the other 5 sing this, go off and play basically distract. She didn't tell them to distract.
No.
They just went off and it turned into this big musical number.
Yes.
But meanwhile, and that turns the Queen on, like, oh, okay, I'll give you the pearl. And then they come back and there's like alarms going off and Twilight's trying to steal the pearl. But it's like, is that in Twilight's character to resort to stealing? I don't
think that is a very Twilight-esque thing to do, but I
know she was like desperate.
Yeah, I think that them having Twilight steal this pearl was like their way of showing how much Twilight like had all of this on her shoulders, like how she was just completely distraught, just desperate. She did not know what to do, and this was just like the only thing that she could think of.
But even through the whole movie, Twilight's already been established as the princess of friendship.
Right.
But throughout this entire thing, she was like, it's the other 5 who was like, okay, they befriend the cat, and then they befriend the pirates, the pirate parrots.
Yeah.
And while Twilight's like being all like stick in the mud.
Yeah, like we don't want to friend anybody. We just stick to ourselves and like get through this and don't talk to anybody and basically.
And then there was also a part where, after the Queen sees Twilight trying to steal the pearl,
she kicks them out.
They're all on shore, and the other 5 understandably like, what the heck are you doing? And then Twilight kind of loses her temper at Pinkie Pie, and that's another thing that it's like I can understand they're stressed, and I know friends can argue once in a while, but I'd never seen any of the ponies to that extent.
Right.
Lash out at another one. I know it's a movie, the stakes are higher, Twilight's probably under a lot of stress, but still, it seemed...
Yeah, it was a little out of character.
I don't remember what she said exactly, but she, her horn lit up, and it was like...
Yeah, it sparked. I thought they were making a reference to, Tempest Shadow's horn.
Oh, yeah.
But
and she said
I didn't...
something to the effect of, I wish I never had friends like you, or something.
Yeah, which I guess in a way it did kind of talk about... It did kind of lead to Tempest Shadow's story. I'm not going to talk about the whole movie.
Well, too late for that.
You have to go see it.
This review is half the length of the movie. We just gave you a blow-by-blow of it. You don't even have to see it now. But we enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to see it again.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see it again in the theater.
No,
but it's now playing at...
Almost all theaters.
So yeah, there's our thoughts. There was our thoughts. Yeah, I give it a big thumbs up. It was very enjoyable.
Yeah, I really liked it. Teagan loved it.
Oh yeah, Teagan, it kept his attention more than the Ninjago movie did.
Yeah, he loved it, and every time he sees a pony, he's like, pony movie again? He wants to see it again, so...
I'm sure it'll be on Netflix, probably around the first of the year.
Yeah, probably.
February, March, probably. That'd be my guess. And also, there's a funny story. We saw it in the theater with a lot of parents and kids. We went to a noontime show on a Saturday. And there's one part where all the ponies... I guess I don't need to warn about spoilers anymore.
I think we're beyond that.
Anyway, all the ponies go down a whirlpool, and they're all holding their breaths underwater.
And it goes black.
Yeah, they all close their eyes, and the screen goes black. And the little girl in front of us, everything's quiet, and the little girl says, They all died.
That's so cute. Like,
Spoiler-
short movie.
Spoiler alert, they didn't die.
Short movie. They died. Time to go home.
They're the new main six now. It's Starlight Glimmer,
Trixie.
Maud,
Discord.
the Thorax, the Changeling, and the nerd pony.
Sunburst. You can never remember his name.
I just call him the nerd pony.
Yes, every time.
All right, hope you enjoyed our review of MLP the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what you thought down in the comments. I can't wait to see your guys' comments.
Yeah.
And your comments on our comments. Maybe we can start a discussion down below. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Bye.